Hello everyone and welcome back to KitbashCarnage. So today we're going to take a look at kitbashing a Chaos Lord. So basically I got some bits here. An old body off of, I think it's some type of Chaos Trooper or like Lord or something like that. And then a cast off of a Warpsmith that I had like a crane kind of bit off of a Warpsmith pack. Some other bits, looks like an old school kind of Chaos Knight-ish helmet that I thought looked quite cool. Then there's like a corrupted arm. This is a left hand arm or a right hand arm, but it's not the arm that I need because I have the original, which is the gun. And then another shoulder pack bit, and a few chopped off swords and stuff we're going to incorporate. But like I said, that arm we're going to just kitbash and use it for the particular arm side that we need, along with some Green Stuff World green stuff and roller kits for tentacles we're going to incorporate also. So if you have a look at these bases that I made in a previous video, we're going to try and incorporate one of these bases, particularly the base I'll show you at the end, into this Kitbashed miniature guy that we're going to do. So link in the description for the video of when we done all this. So this is the base we're going to incorporate. So we're going to try build our figure around this base, basically kind of keeping them as one, it's one piece. So using excess bits of green stuff that we just roll into bits and bobs, and using our imagination and just figuring out how things are going to lay on the miniature. Let's stop the rambling and let's get to it basically. So you saw we just filed down the tentacle-ish corrupted arm because it was for the other side of the miniature, not the side that we needed. We made it flush so we can use it, and then we're just getting some green stuff. And we're just going to mold this so it turns green. And this is my trusted technique here. I find it just kind of speeds the process up. So you're just quickly smushing it into one another and over flapping it or overlaying it over one another. So it just molds into one piece, eventually turns green. And the quicker you can do this, the heat tends to help it turn green faster and mold all the yellow and the blue into one. So using our quick and easy, I say that lightly because I've had so much trouble getting to use this tentacle maker. Probably because I haven't used it correctly, but more so because I've noticed if the green stuff goes kind of more hard, it's much more difficult to use. So try to use this as soon as possible, like as soon as we have made the green stuff green, and then while it's still kind of malleable, if that makes sense. And then using a pen, we're just kind of using the pen to give it the bends that we need and put it into the shape that we're going to need for the tentacles. Instead of just laying them flat, it will tend to make one side flat and you won't have them ridges in the tentacle. So how many times have we had said tentacle by now? The amount of times I say tentacle in my videos is unreal. So using more green stuff, we're just going to attach the Warpsmith Milliput kind of cast that we have there, and making sure with a silicone tool that we have a good bond with the green stuff and the miniature itself. And you could realistically, file this area down just to make it smooth and bring up bits, make it a bit rough so the green stuff will attach easier and get a better bond. But we're just quickly doing this kitbash very fast. This was done very quickly and didn't take too much long at all. So we're going to get this done and dusted in the short time we have and see what it comes out with. So we're just going to attach the other arm now using some super glue instead of Tamiya extra thin cement, basically because there's paint still on the miniature. The Tamiya won't adhere the piece as well as the super glue would, but when using super glue so close to green stuff, it will harden the green stuff obviously. So make sure that you've got your sculpted green stuff, all your details and stuff into place first before using any type of super glue next to the green stuff. So using that little piece with the green or the yellow and the blue strip in the middle of the green stuff that people usually throw away, I keep these bits, and then using that bit that we just took off as like a stabilizer kind of, to make the head fit right in the socket that we have here. So it's basically just adding an extra layer of support just to give that kind of ball joint at the back of the head there an easy socket to fit into. So you're creating your own kind of socket here by doing this, and it's using excess green stuff that you would have thrown away or discarded. And then with the other piece of that, we're going to use that to attach this corrupted arm to the miniature itself. So once again, reusing pieces of material. Instead of throwing them away, we want to use up as much of this material as possible. Not only to recycle, but everything costs money nowadays, so trying to use all of the material you're paying for and get the best bang for your buck. And once again, using a silicone tool just to make sure that that bond is extra good. And as I said with the super glue, if you're 100% sure that you don't need to do any more sculpting, using super glue itself around green stuff sets it extra hard. Well, like it hardens it, like it bonds it. So you won't be able to make any more details, but it will prevent you from smushing out or flattening any details that you had there originally. It will basically speed up that hardening process. So I thought it would be a cool idea to incorporate some weapons into these tentacles. So basically I just have a old school orc kind of hatchet here, and then with some of them sword bits, the chainsaw bits and all that, we'll incorporate all these into some tentacles, using these to basically add some more chaos into the whole miniature itself. And then using a little shoulder pad that we got off of Ramshackle Games, thank you again for the donation. We got this and we use this for the left shoulder pad with the corrupted hand, because we can cover more surface area with that. And then with another shoulder pad that we got from our bits box, we covered the other arm, and that's just covering that joint there that wasn't like as seamless as we wanted. But thankfully these shoulder pads are quite big and robust looking, so they cover the joints pretty well. And then, as I said previously, we incorporated some of the chain swords and the normal swords and axes and stuff like that, and hatchets into some of the tentacles. So using that and then sculpting them into place around the base itself, we're making it fit basically the surroundings and making it look the way we want to. And then finally we're just going to grab some paints that we have laying around, some metal metallics, some green stuff, world purples, some blues, and just some reds, just to finish off the shoulder pads and try to blend this all in. We'll finally give it a touch with our friendly favoured skeleton horde wash. And yes, I'm still overusing it, but if you have it to use it to have it. I don't know if that made sense, but I'll stop rambling. Let's just see how we go with the paint. This is quickly just bashing these colors on just to kind of blend everything in and hide the actual different kitbashed bits. Try to incorporate it into one, and you guys should know already, painting, I'm getting there with it. It's not my most favorite thing, but being able to use stuff that are already painted by previous owners and keep their unique kind of theme there, and then blend your own into it. I like, to be honest, whoever painted this miniature, fair props. The actual body itself is absolutely amazing, and I would definitely not be able to do this in my skill set right now. in the future, hopefully, there's always time to learn. But I like kind of keeping other people's, like this was someone else's miniature, and keeping their inspiration of their theme, and then it kind of incorporates into my own theme. So it's like you're using other people's passed on like army themes, I don't know if I'm just talking completing it or waffles now, but if you get what I mean, then you get what I mean. When it's a second-hand mini and you can see someone else's thought process about whether they kitbash something with it or their painting process, I think it's nice to kind of keep some of that in your own army. It's kind of like passing on generation type of thing. And as you can see here, we're using the Green Stuff World Blue paint to blend in the green stuff tentacles and kind of incorporate it all into one. As you already know if you watch my videos, our army, the Mutant Bears of Fate, is kind of a corrupted chaos army based off of the Word Bearers faction. So this kind of messy-ish paint job kind of endears with our army and adds to it rather than take away from it being kind of all messy and stuff, which also adds to our benefit of right now not being the best at painting. But as we get better, we're probably going to have to change the theme of the army, because we'll probably be able to paint better, which would mean we're going to have to try harder not to paint as good. And yeah, so you can see where I'm coming from. Using some red now just to blend in them other bits, trying to make them blend in to make it seem as if they're still part of the original armor piece. In the end, you can kind of still tell that they're two different pieces painted. But as I said originally, I kind of like that look. I like the way you can see the past thought of the past owner of how they painted or what their thought process was at the time. Yeah, he just fell out there, but we'll move on from that. So just trying to quickly hide our crimes from that mistake, and then getting some gold out here, and this is just to highlight some more mechanical bits off of the Warpsmith crane arm thing. Using this also to make some bolts and stuff stand out, and this is tying the original armor paint scheme into the new armor paint scheme. So we're just going over it now. It's kind of a navy bluish oil wash thing that I had. I'm convinced the Skeleton Horde there we go. Skeleton Horde always gets taken out. You can't go wrong with Skeleton Horde. I think I noticed that the navy blue wash was like not the type that I wanted, so as you can see, take out the Skeleton Horde, and that's exactly what the look we're going for. Trying to blend that in a bit more, make it look more rustic and old looking. And as you see, when it hits the white on the claw, it turns it immediately into more looking like bone. And then going along the arm, it just makes that rusted up effect for us. So Skeleton Horde, if anyone wants to like sponsor me with Skeleton Horde, it'd be much appreciated, because yeah, I go through this stuff like crazy. I mistreat like I use it for probably things I shouldn't, but listen, it all turns out the way I want it to, so Skeleton Horde for the win. This is a little surprise at the end. If you get a black light and you put my miniature underneath it, the Chaos Lord just tends to brighten up with the help of the Green Stuff World floor paints on the base and on the arm and tentacles. So I think it's just a cool little secret you can have. So like if you had an army on the table and they're all painted like this, and then you had like busted out a black light and switched off all the lights in the middle of the tournament, and then your army just glowed along the whole battlefield. It'd be quite cool. But thanks everybody for sticking around. Like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one.